Okay, so one last thing I wanted to demonstrate for you with this process order form before we move on to our login and registration module. All right, so I wanted to explain HTML special characters, that function. So we should be wrapping these entities inside HTML special chars function. And really what this is, it is to eliminate any white space or confusion between any white spaces or ampersand signs or greater than less than styles, right? Signs. So any HTML special characters, it will just print it out to the screen as is, right? So we're trying to escape those, and it just depends on what browser you're using or what type of encoding you have. But it's usually a good practice to wrap your inputs in HTML special characters. So let me do that. Okay. So you can definitely look up this function and just read up on it and why it is important in the whole scheme of things, preventing things like, hacking and cross-site scripting or preventing any bugs in our code. So we're going to look at some of these special functions once we're dealing with forms and validation and so forth. All right, so one other feature, the last feature actually, I'm going to add to our process order form. I want to display a sale amount and also a sale amount including tax. Okay, so let me get started with that. So first we'll need a variable to store, and yeah, let's also display the total quantity of items ordered. All right, so that's pretty important information. So total quantity, and let's initialize this with a 0, and total quantity will be equal to entire quantity plus our oil quantity and our spark plug quantity. Alright, so now we can echo, and let's say the items ordered. And we can just concatenate the total quantity here, and then let's just put a new line here. All right, so we're going to also display the total amount for the items ordered. So for this, we don't currently have a database that these items are coming from. Usually, the best practice is to have a database set up with your products, have a table with the product name, probably a SKU number, and also a price. Okay, so we don't yet have that, but we can define our own price for our items here in our code. So let us do it like that for now, and later down we'll look at how to create a database to store our products in. First, let me create a variable that will store the total amount for our items, and this is going to be a double. So let me initialize it like that. So now we can use our define function. So we're going to define some values for our products, and these values are not going to change. So that's why we're using the define function. They're a constant. All right, so we're going to define our tire price. And let's say our tires cost 100. Or what do tires cost? Let's say 5,000 for a tire. Okay, so let's do an oil price, and a quart of oil, let's say that costs, let's say $1,200. And let's define our last item. So this is going to be spark price. And this, let's say a spark plug costs 700. Alright, so let me, it doesn't really matter, but let me just keep it uniform. Okay. So we have our prices defined. Alright, so now let us say our total amount, what that is going to be equal to. Okay, so total amount will be equal to our tire quantity multiplied by our tire price. Okay, and we're also going to add our oil quantity, so oil quantity times our oil price. Then we're going to also add our spark plug quantity. So spark multiplied by our spark price. SPI. Okay. So now we can display this to our user. So let us say we want to echo so now our subtotal would be let's say and here we can use our number format. So let us say that so we're going to concatenate, and we're going to use a function here called number format, and this will format our amount to 2 decimal places. Alright, so let us just plug in our total amount here. So it takes 2 arguments. The first argument is the actual number that you want, and then the second argument will be to how many decimal places. So put a comma and 2 decimal places. And let's just put a break line here. Alright, so that would be our subtotal. Alright, so now we'd like to apply some taxes to this amount, so we can store our tax rate, and we'll be using a tax rate of 0.15, and this is our local sales tax. Alright, so it's 15%, so of course 0.15 is 15%, and now we can apply this to our total amount. So total amount is now equal to total amount times one plus our tax rate. So it's just simple arithmetic, and now we can echo final price. So this is going to be our total, including tax. And we're going to say we're going to also format this to 2 decimal places. So okay, so now we can close off our paragraph. Alright, so let us save this, and now we can check out our completed process form. Alright, so let's say we're buying 4 tires, and we also need, let's say we need 3 quarts of oil, and let's say we need about 5 spark plugs. So now when we submit this, okay, so items ordered, it's 12. Subtotal is 27,100, and our total including tax is $31,165. Alright, so that completes our process order form. Now in the next video we will definitely look at our login and registration module. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.